They're going to be adding Battle Royale.
Better consumable.
200 players.
Had a Battle Royale.
In Black Ops 4, but they're adding it to this, so we're going to have like Terminal come back
So
in.
like 150 gigabyte update
at least.
for each weapon. Like it's just blowing my mind. Oh,
You're going to get the Xbox Series X it's going to fill up right away. Like that's what they're
it's
making
just
that
like a
console
hard
for.
drive.
Yeah.
It just plugs into your Xbox
The
Live.
PC
Yeah, it's
version,
just like
the PC version was at least 100 gigs.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Hell.
That's awkward.
Go ahead. Quit. You know what? No.
I'm nervous.
Are we actually up?
We were. I thought there was a good
restart it?
No, it's fine. Whatever. I'll edit it.
Good
That was
blooper.
so awkward.
I'll
I just
edit
like
it later.
froze like a cat.
I'll edit it later. You know that's life. You know. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Geek First Podcast, episode
342.
342. This cut me off every turn. I go wham. 342. I am hashtag. I don't know. I love Rob Pass and Trust now.
I always go second, so it's your
So
turn.
you're going second.
I am.
He got
the,
you there. Ha, got him.
I am the awesome Kirklin Patzer.
You sure are. I am the
Thank you.
Dark Knight Taylor Field.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about a few news items. We're going to be talking about quickly a Spid-er-Woman film potential and talk about Netflix's Love is Blind because it's a crazy show. But we're going to lead off with the Batman. Before we get that, just a few plugs. We just reviewed Sonic, so you can go check that out. By the time this is up, that'll be up and see if we liked it, loved it. Maybe it's the greatest film of all time, someone says, you know. Taylor. So we got that going on. Clone Wars retrospective is over, so you can go back and check out every episode before the premiere happens February 21st, and we'll be reviewing every episode, myself, Taylor, and I. What else has happened with the Clone Wars with us today, Phil?
We have the Clone Wars poll on our social media Facebook, so all you got to do is go on there. It changes every day, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is our biggest poll yet, lots of characters, so make sure you get on there and get your vote in before it's too late.
Biggest poll by a landslide. It is gargantuan.
Best poll yet.
Okay.
I think so.
And then you can go and drop a review on we got Birds Prey review that's out there too, so that's lots of good stuff. Drop a review on iTunes. We're at 160, so we only need 40 more reviews to hit that 200. So please, a written review on Apple Podcasts, that'd be great. Taylor, where can they find us on social media?
With your internet connection, Geekverse Space Podcast on Facebook, Geekverse Cast on Twitter, Geekverse anywhere on the internet. We're there, locked and loaded.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, what was I going to say? On Patreon, you can go over there and get the ad-free episodes for $1, and you get episodes early because soon we're going to be starting the Bond retrospective, and that's going to be up there. We're going to review, I guess I should keep clarifying this, we're going to review just the Daniel Craig ones to lead up to No Time to Die. So that's Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre. So those are the 4, and then we'll be reviewing that. And speaking of reviews and everything like that, so I want to talk about one thing is, so you may have noticed we have more ads on the podcast right now. We've had ads before, and then also we have a sponsor, hashtag shout out to Letter-O-Matic. You know, great sponsors. We're happy to be working with them. So I wanted to shout out Niner Faithful #1 on reviews because he says he loves us. We got a great start and always cuts the chase. But he's talking about the ads and how, you know, sometimes they can be placed and whatnot. So with the Letter-O-Matic ones, because they're a sponsor, we can place them and we can control the audio. And I've heard this a few times, so this is what we're going to do from now on. And Niner, this is why I got Taylor to introduce the Facebook and Twitter, because I always say, hit us up there because we can respond. And the guy left a good review, and he's like, I'll leave a 5-star one once this reviews, or once we change it. And I've heard it a few times. We've been trying to figure out, because the problem is with the other ads, we don't control the audio. They come in, so every half an hour we do is 30 seconds. So that's why live when we record these, I can't be like, okay, and now hear from our ads, because we don't know. I don't know how long we're going to go. We never plan. As you've seen Geekverse, sometimes we go an hour, sometimes we go 4 hours. So we never know, so they come in later on. So that's why I will now cut in and put in an intro right before, because once the episode's recorded, we know where they're going. I will say, hey, these ads are about to happen. The ones where you hear Kirklin, Taylor, Dylan, myself talking like about Letter-O-Matic, those ones we can control. Sometimes we get car ads, sometimes we get the outside ads. Those ones we can't. So they are, I've heard them. Sometimes they're outrageously loud, and it is super frustrating, but we don't get to hear them. We don't even know what the ad's going to be. It's just someone we've partnered with. So that's why I'm going to create an intro. I'm going to say, hey, you're going to skip ahead, or you can quiet down the phones, because I've heard them. They are loud. They are annoying. So we'll be doing that going forward. So because we always want to listen to fans, and we always want to help as much as we can. We want you guys to enjoy it. If you want no ads, that's why I head to Patreon. But the ads are there because we don't love having ads on the podcast, but You see the light there, you see these mics, you see the stand, everything, and hopefully the new camera that's going to happen this year. That's all the money goes towards. So that's why we always put it back into the cast. So I said this on Sonic, like the more content and ads you guys consume, the more content we can make for you. The more retros, the more commentary tracks, more exclusive stuff. So that's the idea. So that's what I wanted to say with ads, just because I know they can be a pain and whatnot. But so I will create every time there's an ad, even if there's 5 of them, there will be interesting. Hey, they're about to happen. Here you go, and you'll get them. So yeah, just want to say that because we got lots of them on there now, but they're just to keep on the lights. You know, we're trying to. The goal is this year, like we did all year. The goal is next year is to do, or this year is to do camera, because we've done enough. But as we see, we got this banner. You guys haven't decorated the wall anymore. You know,
forgot the posters
Every week.
again.
But that's why we want to get the new.
coming.
Yeah, that's why we want to get the new camera, because then really we can get that nice quality HD. Right now we're just working on phones, so everything like that. And that's why support us on Patreon, support us for the download. Even if you don't listen to the episode, just download it, because that helps us very much. So if you like what we do, please support us. And again, if you have any things like that, bring it up at Facebook, Twitter. We love talking. We love figuring stuff out. You know what we do love? Is comic book movies. And you know what we love is getting new suit and Batman reveals. That's what we're going to talk about first. First of all, I had to post this this poll on our Facebook, which it's 71% voted that they liked the costume, 29% said no.
I didn't vote on that, actually.
Oh, some guy, I'm not going to say, but just said maybe if he gave the job to someone else. What does that even mean?
He likes the suit. He doesn't like the man in the suit.
I guess. There's so much. I can't wait for this movie to come out, and then like Ben Affleck everywhere hate it retroactively. Like, oh, this is my Batman. So this week we got a 45-second video of Matt Reeves and a screen test of Robert Pattison in the Batsuit. We got Michael Giacchino's score. Who wants to take it first? What is just your initial thoughts? This is a new Batsuit. What do we think?
I think it fits Robert Pattinson well. I think it fits his jawline well, because that's the only thing that really, I don't know, is different from the other Batmans. Is the little face that's revealed. The little face. They all usually look pretty jacked. Minus maybe Michael Keaton. He's got that dad bod Batman. But I digress. But overall, I think it's good. Sorry. Was there like ears, or am I just?
We
picturing?
haven't seen them. That's what I was gonna. I got a follow up question. Yeah,
I think I'm trying to look at the Batman on your shirt right now. I
There's
don't think
many different ears.
I don't think they'll be too long.
Yeah, because so we had what was it? So you got all the old '90s ones. They had the long ears. Bale had the long ears, but then Affleck had the short, pointy ones.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
I think it'll be more like Affleck. If
Yeah.
I have to put my money on one card, that's probably where I'll go. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, stupid Photoshop.
Big brain.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart guy.
So you're liking the suit?
I'm liking the suit overall. I wasn't sure how I felt about like the I guess you'd call it the bat.
The bat symbol.
The bat symbol. It seems a little small, but I don't know. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of like the Batman Beyond. Like I know the suit's very different, but just like the slenderness of it. Yeah. And they did have a red filter on it.
That's true. That's it. And that's Batman Beyond all the way. But that's the other thing. I think Pattison obviously is going to get in shape, but I think he's going to be one of the more smaller Batmans we've had. Yeah, like even might be smaller than Bale. Like, and Bale got big in Begins and then he got smaller. But just the judging of that suit, it doesn't look. It's not Affleck. Like Affleck was mega huge, and to me, he doesn't look that big in it. But the suit, like the arm around it, looks imposing. So I think he is going to be a bit like thinner, Neil Adams style. Who he's the guy that drew Batman like very thin and slender, and his reasoning was always like, well, he needs to move fast. And
well, that was kind of like the Batman Beyond version, right?
100%. Yeah. And Neil Adams' reason was like he needs to move fast, and like a guy that's like a huge bodybuilder couldn't move like a ninja.
Yeah.
So it's a good point, but you know, it's comic books, but you know.
Yeah, but overall, I'm pretty positive on it. I don't know. I feel like people are digging pretty hard about like the whole like it's the bullet that like what was it? The bullet that killed his parents.
It's the gun.
Symbol. Oh, it's the gun.
So people are saying because there is a comic, Detective Comics 1000. Kevin Smith wrote it, and this has not been confirmed. It's all just theories because some people have also thrown out that they think it's a retractable batarang, which I think would be also badass. If just in the middle of the movie it came out and he threw it. But that's what some people are speculating because the design, he got Churchill's gun, he broke it down and put it on there. So one, what do you believe that theory, Kirklin? And two, how do you feel? Because Dylan, I'll speak for him. He was not. He just put yikes pretty cringe. So Dylan was on the fail side of that portion. So
I don't feel too strongly for or against it. like maybe if I had knew that comic, I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool that they're, like for the fans that know that comic, they're like, oh, that's pretty like I don't know if it'll get explained in the show itself, like that's tied into the story that he got Joe Schilling's gun and made a suit out of it. I'm totally down for the Batarang idea. I think that is pretty cool. They just like load or something. I don't I'd want to see Saturday morning afternoon
manufacturer.
Malfunctions. And just like
Jesus
just like gets
Christ.
caught. Yeah, and it's like
so I don't know, overall I'd say I'm positive on it. I'm excited to see the full version of it.
how do you feel? Because I'm gonna ask you all these questions, but just Kirklin's here. So the cowl, I think that's been the biggest thing, is because I think the suit, everyone was digging me into. I said the same thing right when it came up for me. It's the Arkham games, because it's like it's very like plated, it's very metally, like it looks like that same way, which I like that, because it's like the Bale one has that, but it's not like this. This looks like literally pieces of metal. I like the symbol. Again, the gun thing after. The cape we can't see. And we don't know the actual color of the suit because it's red. But I think the most thing people are having a problem with is the cowl, as far as the like it or hate it. I don't dislike it, but it's my least favorite part, because already people are memeing about him looking like Daredevil from Netflix. And like clearly, because the thing is, when they were showing the suit from the chest up, it looked like the Arkham armor. So I'm like, oh, it is very high tech. But then when someone's like desaturized the red and brought up the brightness, you can see his mask is stitched together. So it's like they're going for like it looked high tech, but they're also going for like a really beginner's type of suit and whatnot. So that's what I might have posted a picture in our group chat. If not, I'll send it right now. So Taylor, you take over, and then I'll come back.
Yeah,
to on that.
I want to see it before I comment.
Yeah.
No.
Give me an answer now. Where's the trigger?
For me, I really enjoy the suit so far from what we saw in the screen test. I really like it, and the fact that for me, I don't know how I feel about it being a Batarang on his chest. I don't really like that idea. I feel like it's too much like Inspector Gadget like. So I personally like the idea of it being the gun that was used to kill his parents. I think that's much more symbolic.
Yeah.
Because
it's both? No.
It's both. Well, yeah, it turns into a gun.
He gets it every day. But what if it was that? What if it was a battery and he throws it and he collects it and he puts it back?
I just feel like it's too Inspector Gadget like. Just,
That's a
he's
weird
got
poll.
gadgets everywhere, It's
Batman
just
is all
weird.
about gadgets, though.
He is, but I feel like that's
powers.
way
His
too
gadgets.
like cliche kind of. I just
Really?
picture Inspector Gadget like, something comes out of his hat and throws it,
Go, Batman, go!
Yeah.
I just want to say, after seeing this image, I'm gonna take back what I said earlier. I think it's gonna be long ears.
I'm
I'm going long ears now.
Some people expect that there was a comic in like the 70s where his ears were like flat to his head and they were like triangular. And the way
that'd
that
be cool.
cowl looks, I'd have to see on screen, but the way it looks like it could be like that. Like not exactly like Night Owl and the Watchmen, that Zack Snyder thing, but kind of like that, just the way it is. And it's just, I understand people's problems with the cowl, because Greg, shout out to him, he's a Patreon supporter. He does a Civil Servant podcast. I've guested on that before. He just said like, he felt like the plastic would look like fake leatherish. And I always say, though, this is a screen test. Wait until it's in a trailer, HD shot well, and then let's see. Even then, I got to see it. For me, it's my least favorite part, but I got to see it with the ears, because I think the ears really do make a lot of the costume. And I don't know. I guess I like it because I like the idea of, clearly, I feel people might not like this, but I think they are going, I've been saying this for months, they're going the Nolan route, where I think it's going to be more realistic. The villains so far are Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler, all like human-based, just intelligence or brawling, right? And that suit, it looks Arkham-y, but even that top half and whatnot, it still looks very... like it does look Daredevil. It looks homemade. It looks put together. How do you feel about his collar? That'd be the first time he'd ever have a collar in the movies, like the live-action movies.
Like you talking about this part?
Yeah, because I think
it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah. I gotta see it.
Reminds me a little bit of vampire-y in a weird way, and like the stitching, it reminds me of like Selena Kyle, like Catwoman-esque.
Which I can't wait. We're gonna get a costume of her soon.
Yeah,
that's coming any day now.
That's exciting. I don't know. I like overall. I'm happy. I'm okay with the cowl. like it doesn't always go like that far up, right? It usually like goes down. Or am I
It is.
mistaken?
It is a
Or I
bigger.
guess I can look at yours.
Yeah, people have been talking about that. It is. You can see more of
It
his
looks,
chin this
yeah,
time. Yeah,
exactly.
But that's what I do. Like I know, and I get people whether you love the outfit of Affleck or not. For me, other than bat nipples, I kind of like all the Batman outfits. I love the Keaton one because it's like this dark gothic, like very comic booky. Like it looks fake. He's in a rubber suit, but like it fit that movie. I like Bale's because it's more practical, and then
Adam
I like
West.
Adam West. It made sense for that show, right?
Yeah.
And Batfleck with like this huge tank. I love the design, and this one I like too. So like I don't think other than nipples, there's been one where I'm like this. I don't even have a favorite, to be honest. I like so many of them, you know. So I like the look of this because it feels like it's unique to whatever movie they're telling. It doesn't just look like, oh, it's another Batsuit. To me, it's like this looks like a take, whether it's the cowl, it's the armor, if that is a batarang, if it is a gun, whatever it is. Like they're doing something different, which I like. And if you don't like it, you know, it sucks. But
yeah, I want to say like since they like opened up like the jaw area, Robert Pattison has quite the jawline, so like
cheekbones galore.
yeah, definitely like showing it off properly. And I don't know, I just feel like it fits like him really well. Like I don't think that mask and the cowl would look like, I feel like it would have to be a completely different design if it was another actor. And I don't know, I just feel like it looks really good.
What's Taylor pulling?
pretty
Taylor,
positive.
there's a big bull.
I'm trying to pull on my batarang.
Yeah, I don't know. Why are you putting on a wall? What
I
are
was
you
just making sure I didn't leave my visa somewhere.
Oh my god! I thought he was gonna be like looking at the stitching in my wall. That looks like. So Taylor, you were talking about the batarang. How do you feel about the rest of the suit or the potential chest piece? How you? Well, first let's say if it is the gun, are you fine with that?
I'm totally fine. I think
Yeah.
it's very fitting, very symbolic, and I would
Yeah.
love that.
I at first when I did hear, I went, oh yeah, that is a bit different, but I like it because the thing, it's just, I feel, and even though Affleck was a murderer, we're gonna get in that another day, but I feel like there's difference between manslaughter and murder. I feel like if it is the gun that killed his parents, I think we're gonna get a really fucked up Batman. Like I think he's gonna, because they've confirmed, we'll talk about a bit, this is him in his second year as being Batman.
Oh, okay.
So like I think he's gonna be a really mentally disturbed guy, and that's why, like, because I feel like we've never really dove into the psyche. BVS wanted to do that, but they just were busy with so much other stuff they skimped over it. So if it is the gun, I'm the same thing. I support it. First it's like, oh, that's different, but then I'm like, that is like, Batman is a fucked up guy. He's a guy that dresses up a bad and beats criminals to a pulp. So if him having like the gun that kills parents on his chest, that just brings it to like another level. Like, oh man, this dude is like messed up. And
Yeah.
oof.
I definitely agree with what you're saying and being like mentally just crazy, and I'd love to see that whole aspect of the beginning part of seeing Batman and BVS, where it was like the cops were afraid of him and they're going through that like warehouse scene. Like I think take that element and plaster that into this movie, and you could have something really powerful. I think you know, this Batman being like younger is fantastic, and I'm excited to see that. His suit looking very much like the Arkham games. I love that plated kind of like look to it. My favorite suit by far is definitely Bale's suit. I really really like it. I like
Which one? The Begins one's the bulky one, or the Dark Knight?
The Begin ones.
Really?
Well,
because Begins he has like the regular, like kind of more rubber, and then Dark Knight is when he gets the slimmer one.
yeah, no, I'll go with Dark Knight then, because
Yeah.
I like how slim he looks. Like, not that I have anything against Ben Affleck being too beefy, but like I like my Batman, you know, slim.
Because Taylor's
you
like,
know.
that could
Thin
be
waist.
me.
That could be me.
That could be me.
Yeah.
Where Affleck, it's like, it's not me.
Get my shake weight.
With batarangs at the end.
But yeah, I
pictures
think
of your dead parents. I'll make you proud. And Alfred's just like, I should have left that day. it
Oh
happened.
no.
but yeah, no, I think just this suit looks great. I love how his mask to me looked like it was just kind of like, not like, oh, we'll order 10,000 ears and 10,000 cowls and put them together ourselves. It's like, I pieced this together myself.
From
kinda
something.
thing. Yeah, from something. Like
From a dead whale.
the jacket, the latex
parents'
jacket
dead
my dad
coffin.
wore.
This
Everything
is gonna
is
be a
just-
dark movie.
Everything, the metal is just like from the car they used to own and everything like that.
Oh,
What's the cape?
The
What's their-
teeth of his parents.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
so
yeah.
fucked up
Those are the
things.
thing, yeah. His cape is like their old like blanket or something like that. And Alfred's like, all right, Master Bruce.
I really, really like the idea of him having that kind of like neck part. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get like Big Daddy vibes from Kick-Ass or something like
boy.
that.
He
You
does
know?
look a little, and Big Daddy had that like homemade feel aesthetic. and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys like? This is a loser question, but what do you feel about them using that red aesthetic? Because that's not really a color that's been tied to Batman, really. You know, it's been like blues and grays and blacks, but that's the biggest thing I liked about this video is it is a screen test, but they did this for Joker and then they did this for Birds of Prey. So I feel like anytime DC does this, they know they got something special. I just love the whole vibe of this look, and I love what we're going to talk about, but I love the score that's happening in it. And for them using red, it was like, I guess like Kirklin brought up, there is Batman Beyond, but other than that, there hasn't been that. So I just liked that aesthetic, and I'm not sure if that's going to be on like posters going forward. Yeah. The rumored logo on like the set is the Batman, and it is in red. So it looks like red is going to be their color. And I think that is a good call because I think BVS was just like a bunch of gray, and Nolan's was like kind of like black and blue. Like the suit wasn't, but that wasn't. And then the 90s had all different styles. You went from Mr. Freeze to like, just the rubber suit.
Well,
so
the interesting thing is like definitely like black and red visually go together so nicely. But in this sense, like, Kirklin's rocking it right now. In this sense, we don't know really the color tones.
Taylor too.
Oh yeah. We don't know the official color tones of this suit. Like that logo could be completely like a shining silver piece. What parts are more black? Like, sure, we have those images that have been recolored, but then people don't really know. I mean, Robert Pattison's skin could be like, it could be like yellow or something for all we know.
I'm so happy you didn't say black. Then I'd be like, oh, we're not getting this movie. Oh, well, we wanted a black Batman, but we got a white guy to do it. And like, oh, well, we're done. People have speculated if it is still blue, and because there was rumors that it was blue and yellow, and that's what I want because we've never gotten that. And people have been like, is that why they used the red? But I feel like you would maybe still show that off, but who knows, right? It's over.
This was all about being I think it was smart that they did this screen test, but it was it's so secret. The ears not showing off. We don't know the colors of the suit. We don't know much. The ears in
particular. That's why I think the ears might be those different triangle ones, because I think people might wear like, oh, they might not like those ears. Let's save that for a little bit, but. I don't know. I'm
gonna stick with that. They're gonna be straight. They're gonna be straight and
just like the regular pointy.
Yeah.
But you're with long now.
I'm with long. Yeah.
I don't
medium to long. I don't know what the cutoff for long is.
Not extra long.
He's got like
They're as tall as him. Oh, right.
I don't think they showed it in here, but I really want to see his like van braces and like what he's got going on. Like
the gauntlets.
The gauntlets.
What did you call them?
Van braces.
Oh, I think you said man braces.
Man braces.
His suit is all weird, like touched to his body. Oh man.
I just wanted to comment on like
the
red aesthetic to it. I kind of hope it's like it's got some more importance to it. Like it's kind of a symbolism thing. Like maybe this will be a darker movie. Like there will be blood. Like there will be people dying, and there will be a lot on the line.
Batman from the Book of Saw.
I don't from the Book of Disease.
Like I don't want it to say like Batman's gonna be killing people because we got that with BVS, and I don't want any more of that. But like just like there will be lives on the line, and I don't know. I want a dark, gritty Batman. We did get that with Nolan's, but I don't know.
Do you think we see his parents die in this one?
We'll save
I
that.
Hope not.
We'll
I hope not because this is and I'm hopeful because this is 2 years after. So maybe it's like this isn't his transition into Batman. Like he might get some flashbacks of like a gunshot going off, and then I don't know. Maybe they'll just explain that like with the usage of the. Yeah. If it is a gun for his symbol.
I'm fine with that. Quick flashes of it happening. To me, I'm always fine. Like if you I don't know if you all remember Batman Forever. You probably don't. But there's like he like flashes to it sometimes. I don't want a whole like scene of it and everything like that. And the reason about like it being darker, the rumors are like people that have been on set and whatnot have been talking about you should think about this more like Joker than opposed to Wonder Woman and Birds of Prey, where those Birds of Prey was rated R, so maybe that's a bad example. But I just mean like those are a bit more mainstream. I feel even Birds of Prey being rated R, I feel like that's more mainstream than Joker. But what do I know? Because Joker's $1 billion and Birds of Prey struggling, right? But I think Joker's a different reason. I don't think this movie is going to be rated R necessarily, but I think it is going to be a bit more because Matt Reeves was going for more lower budget, and there was rumors that they kind of made him put in a bit more action because apparently they ran like we need a little bit more. So I think there is a chance it could be on the more Joker side of like a character study or like a Logan opposed to, and even Nolan's Dark Knights. Like I think those are, I don't call them character studies. I think those are just like these huge epic movies. That's why they're hailed so well. So I think we are going to get something pretty good. Have you seen any of the Apes movies, the newer ones?
I've seen the first one with
you should watch
Franco.
Before this comes out, you should watch the last two because those are the two he directed, and those are like really character like driven about like Caesar, and that's just like about a ape, and they do a great
CGI
job with
guy.
that. Yeah, so the fact that you have like a great acting Robert Pattison and like a really good cast, like I think it's gonna be something really special because in the next year we have like all these movies coming out. Like this is the one I think has the best potential to really stand out, and Yeah, I love everything.
I'm excited
about
to
it,
see some Pattison in these movies coming up. You got
Oh,
Tenet.
yeah.
We just saw Lighthouse. I love that movie, and obviously this will be a little bit farther down the line. What's the release date on this?
2021 June, so we're over a year and a
Okay.
half.
Yeah.
But that's
I'm
my
excited to see more. Like,
Well,
as
yeah.
time progresses.
We're gonna get trailer stuff. We're gonna
Yeah.
have Comic Cons. That's gonna be fun. But like my thing is like they did this because they're probably shooting outside. That's why I'm wondering about the red aesthetic because you think you would have shown the ears and the colors if you're shooting outside soon. So
What if
because
there's sorry.
those colors are gonna get revealed, right? So
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if he's just got no ears? Like that's why they're not
I'm
showing.
worried
He's
about
got like a
that.
skull cap. Just
I would not.
it
I
would
wouldn't
be like
fan.
as bad as Sonic, honestly.
Yeah. I did work. That did go through my mind of like, what if it is? If there are no ears, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's too realistic for me. I still
got
want to keep just put the ears on them. You
It's
know,
got like one of those visors where there's like no top. It's just like hair.
well, it's clearly Bruce Wayne. That's the shit. Taylor, I want to throw to you because you're a big score guy. What did you think? This is our first season. Michael Giacchino, who did the score. He's done Incredibles. He's done Doctor Strange. He's done Spider-Man. He's done Mission Impossible. He's done like tons and tons of movies.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that was a bad score, but he only had 3 weeks to work on it, so
What
I
was
don't
the Star
blame
Wars
him.
movie?
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Taylor's all-time favorite movie. But what do you think about the score? The little notes we heard.
I'm a big fan of his work. I love the stuff he's been pumping out, and just the little bit that he has done, obviously for this screen test, like it just it wrote me in. I want the full 5-minute score track of this on Spotify right now. It was so good, and it had so many levels too. Like it felt.
Some people have compared the ending to the Imperial March, and it kind of has that vibe. There's like
Really?
a dun 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 dun, but it's a little different tones and whatnot. But you should listen to it again when he cuts off screen. It has that, but it sounds a little similar.
I'll have to look for that then. I love how it feels so. I don't know. It feels like uncertain, but like directional at the same time. I don't know. I feel like it's a good reflection of the character and the persona we're gonna see Robert Pattison play for this. Playing as Batman. Like being uncertain, but having a sense of direction of where he's going. So I'm super excited because that's the tidbit that we got, and just knowing the other tracks we're gonna get that come from this is just blows my mind. So, yeah.
Kirklin, you got any thoughts on the score or?
I really liked it, and I'm not even gonna try and butcher his name like Travis has
Michael
done like 3
Giacchino.
times.
I got it. Fourth try.
But just hearing the stuff that he's done in the past, I'm a big fan of basically everything on there. Incredibles is such a good soundtrack. Actually, it's really epic, and I don't know. I like the. I'm not good. I was never in band, so I'm not gonna try and name all the
The
types of
music.
instruments.
I like the music.
I like the sounds that were coming out. But overall, I don't know. Everything I've seen going into this Batman movie so far has been positive. And
no red flags yet.
Yeah, exactly. And you love to see that.
Just a red video.
Just a red video.
Yeah, I love the score. The reason I'm surprised because I love Michael's work, but I haven't been thrilled. I've never been thrilled with the new Spider-Man movies. The score never got me, so I was always disappointed in them. I never really liked the Doctor Strange score. I thought it was good, but it didn't hit me and floor me. So the past 2 movies, and my favorite score of his actually is Up. I love the Up score. It's fantastic. So I love him as a composer, but when they announced him for this lately, I haven't been digging it. But the thing I like about this, it feels epic and dark, but it feels very much like the 90s animated show. It feels like a cartoony theme. It's very just robust, dun, it's just kind of really in your face, but I like that, and it fit what Taylor was saying with the character, what it just seems like what they're going for. So I can't wait for the rest of this. I can't wait to see if they do, which I want to get to next, if they do these screen test releases for Catwoman and Riddler. Are they going to have their own piece of music, and are they going to have a theme of sorts? Because Bane had a theme in Nolan's movies, Ledger had a theme, the Joker. So I would love that too. And that's what I was going to ask. Now you've seen the aesthetic of this, what are you expecting for those 2 characters? Because for Catwoman, I've heard rumors that it's a current look right now where it's kind of a leather suit, but it's the goggles with the cat ears, and that's why she has the short hair. So I think that'll be easy. For me, I'm just wondering, with Riddler, what do we get? Do we get anything do we get a guy in a green costume? Do we get a guy with question marks? Do we get a guy that's really down to earth, that's just in a suit and he's just the Riddler, but he's not because this looks to me, it looks like Nolan again, where it looks more realistic as possible, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say obviously there's a shot in the dark, but I feel like we'll get a guy probably maybe in like a green suit.
Yeah.
Like nothing like Jim Carrey's like full one piece spandex, like question marks, everything. Like maybe have like, you know, buttons or something, or like a clip on his tie with like question marks.
Almost like
possibly a mask.
Yeah, a mask, really.
Possible.
Really.
Maybe I'm thinking of Jim Carrey with
he
like
has the
green
one. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because even like Ledger's Joker, it's iconic now, but if you like look at it, they did make it like, oh, he just has like a purple trench coat and he has like a suit. Like it wasn't really like Jared Leto's thing, or even like Joaquin's. Like that's more realistic.
But like he's still obviously it's the Joker, so he has to have those like effects of like the white face and like the green hair, like the red lipstick or whatever. So like. Yeah, he's got the realistic suit, but like the Riddler could still have, I don't know, like the mask. Just does
he have a cane
incognito.
with the question mark? That's the thing.
I'd say yeah.
Really? So maybe green suit, but that's the cane.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I wonder though why I think it could be Sue's, because he's going by Edward Nashton in this movie, and Edward Nygma is his real name, but Edward Nashton is an alias he's used. So I'm wondering if he's gonna be like a Jigsaw and he's like pulling stuff behind the scenes. And I don't know. I'm wondering if there's. My question is, I don't know if there's ever gonna be a reason for him to put on like anything but regular clothes, right?
It could be one of those things where like his suit is green but not like out there, like very eccentric, and then like I'm sticking with my mask. I'm double downing, but like he doesn't wear it for like if he is just like a businessman that's like behind the scenes, but maybe something will happen and then he gets a scar. So I don't know. Just an event happens.
Blows
and
up
then,
from a grenade.
Yeah, his eye, like all around it, is just scarred.
That didn't happen in any movie we saw recently.
No, but like just I don't know. An event will happen. But I want to see a mask.
Okay, so Kirkland's saying like a mask. I'm saying I think he's just gonna be green suited, and that's about it. Unless that's thing. I don't know this character if he's like a personality that's popular. Maybe that's his like dressing up as a Riddler is like his persona, like that the public. Because like you could take the Riddler and really take like the way they did in the Batman Forever, even like Lex Luthor route, where he's in the public and known, but people don't know he's the Riddler. They know he's like a flashy guy who wears green. And he has a top hat and a cane. It's like, oh, this is cool, but they don't know he's like murdering people. Taylor, where are you on the like? Is it more Sudi? Is it comic book? Where are you on the mask? I'm saying no mask. He's doubling down.
I'm double downing on the mask.
I think it's not going to be like that Jim Carrey-esque with like the question marks all over his body. Yeah, I think looking
it's the exact same suit.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Screen test is the exact. You're like, why do you even show us
got the orange hair?
Oh, everything.
I think judging by Robert Pattinson's suit and just how pieced together his logo was on his suit, I think that's going to be the standard for all these other characters. And you look at like the Riddler, he's not going to be plastered in question marks. I think he's just going to be, maybe it'll be like a stitched or sewn up like question mark, and just he's kind of like
his suit or his body
on his body.
Well,
Oof,
there's one Riddler.
crazy.
There is one Riddler that has the question mark cut into his stomach.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So could we go that route?
Committed. I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll be either he's just got like stitching, like poorly done stitch works of question marks on his suit, and it's hard to say. I think it'll be like pants and a coat, and probably
pants, just the coat.
Just the coat.
Oh, Batman.
Public masturbator Riddler.
Full on hard on, and his dick makes a question mark. That's why they call it the Riddler. Huh?
I think he'll definitely have a cane. I don't think he's. I'm gonna double down on no mask.
So double down on no mask.
So double down on no mask. I'm just down on the
single no mask.
You're
double down on mask.
And you said yes to the cane though.
Yeah, I think I'll have a cane.
I think we're all on the cane, but I think the cane he could literally he could have a limp and he has a cane that's a question mark, right? Like the Riddler could be a guy that could be in a wheelchair, and he doesn't need to be a physical guy. That's the thing about him, right?
Let me ask you this: does he have a bowler hat or no?
I was gonna say
I think so. I think you can wear that in public to public events for photo shoots. I think you can get away with that. The cane that's a question mark, that's a bit more like. That's on the nose, like especially if there's a criminal leaving question marks and you have a cane.
Unless maybe he is like a full-on businessman and like his logo for his company is like a question mark or something like that. I don't know.
Because maybe that's what I'm wondering. What if his name's Nashton, but like it's called like Nygma Inc. or something like that? Because Nygma is like his name is Edward Nygma, and it's like Enigma. It's like it is a very comic booky. Like it's the same way when they introduced Doom in the MCU. I'm like, you're gonna have a guy actually named Victor Von Doom, and people aren't gonna be like, "Oh, let's same thing."
Bad guy,
Victor Freeze, Doctor Octavius. It's
what was the name of the Riddler's company in Batman Forever?
Oh God, I can't remember. He puts stupid puzzles on his head. I can't remember.
Like Nygma Industries.
I think it is Nygma Industries. Yeah. It's Enigma something. Yeah. So what I was gonna ask too, because about Pattison, and we haven't seen this before, and I think we kind of have our answer with that type of suit, but. we're assuming, right, that he's not like Affleck. He doesn't have a voice box. He's going Bale, right? That he's gonna have a voice.
He's gonna bail it.
Yeah, he's gonna bail it.
That's gonna be interesting. We get to hear that. That's what that I get it. If people are tired, I 100% get it. But for me, it's just like it's the Bond thing. It's like, what's his voice gonna be like? What's his look like? What's his take like? I can't wait to hear. Is his voice like Keaton, where it's just a bit lower? Is he full on Bale and disguise his voice?
I'm pretty like optimistic going into it after seeing Lighthouse, just because like with that that weird like lighthouse keeper voice that he had. Obviously, it's like the sailor speak or whatever. Like that was the voice he's going for, but like it would be different for Batman, but he's able to go like dark and gritty, and I don't know. I'm pretty. I don't like it's nice knowing that he doesn't need a voice box, whereas like Ben Affleck, if he did like a I don't know scary voice, I feel like I would still hear Ben Affleck. Like it would be okay, but with Robert Pattison, just seeing like from Lighthouse,
I think
he's got potential.
I think he was joking because he likes to fuck with the media a lot. But at one point during his like promotion of Lighthouse, he said his Batman voice was inspired by William Dafoe's voice in the Lighthouse.
Let's go.
You found my battery. You found my battery.
Barn with the gall.
But let's see. I don't think. Did you? So Taylor, you probably see it. Kirkland, did you see those set photos of that like gang of people with their faces painted?
No.
Kirkland,
I
Taylor, you
didn't
saw.
see those
Oh
either.
my goodness. Okay, then I'll throw you this question. Now it's not confirmed, but it kind of came out with this report. I shouldn't say confirmed, but multiple people reported. So it's officially. You guys are. I know, Taylor. You're happy with it being year 2 Batman. You're happy with that, yeah.
Wait, can you repeat that? I don't understand what you just
Year
said.
2 Batman. You're happy with that, right?
I'm 2 Batman?
like no year 2 Batman. Year.
Like
the
he's
year.
2 years into his job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm okay with this.
You worded that a little strangely.
I worked 10 and a half hours yesterday. Everyone fuck off now. Let's see. And Kirkland, how are you feeling over there about that?
I like it. It's just, I mean, Ben Affleck's was different, but in the last few movies, I don't know, like Michael Keaton, his Batman isn't like an origin story.
No.
George Clooney's isn't a origin story. Like so.
No, the only one we've gone is
it's not
Bale's.
something too new, but I'm all for it. Like I was positive with how they did it in Spider-Man. I know that wasn't like just 2 years in; that was a little bit longer. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just such a common thing to have these origin stories that I do like it when they have some experience under their belt and maybe they have some things from like their year 1 that's kind of traumatizing them, like you said, that, like he might be a little bit messed up of just things he's seen, things he's been doing, and just stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm all for it.
And the other thing that Kirkland's about to look at and Tim might comment in these photos, if these are for sure the photos and like what's happening, it's like this guy, he's getting mugged by these criminals and they have painted, and there's almost like a cross on the guy's.
It's like the Purge movie.
Well, it does look
or
like that, but
whatever.
the thing is that everyone's pointing out that if this is, let's say maybe he just has phone out, but if it's in the movie, the phone's out, because there's rumors this movie takes place in the 90s, but that's not the case if someone's rocking a phone like ours. So I don't, if those photos are true and everything like that, it just to me looks like it's in year 2. I think it's a little bit of a cheat because I think everyone's like, don't do an origin story. I think every Batman director kind of wants to do an origin story. So he's like, okay, we won't do year 2, but or year 1, but we'll do year 2. So it's like, it's close enough where he can still refer back to his first year. But even from that, it looks like Batman will be established. But if you got Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, and you got these criminals that are maybe a gang of people, it just looks like Gotham as always. But Gotham is really, that's a lot of criminals and bad guys, but it just looks like it's overrun with people. And that's where it's like, you literally need this guy. So, and I'm fine with it being present day. I know people are holding out hope that it might be 90s for either be a Ben Affleck prequel or you link it with Joker. That's what everyone really wanted.
I see.
But
Well, even
I do see the two side by side, and I always go,
I feel like just by seeing the phone though, like you can't, like you don't, like I feel like
it's
you
just
can't.
speculation.
Yeah, I feel like you can't rule it out because even if like maybe that phone wasn't supposed to be there, maybe they're gonna edit it out or
100%,
something like
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, that's just the online.
keep your hopes up if you're really going for that. Yeah.
Did you find the name of that Industries? Is that what you were looking up?
I was looking up. I didn't see anything. I got distracted with questions asked my way. I'll keep going.
Yeah, we're not ending this, guys. To be fine. Anything else on that costume? We got that. We got the music. We talked about some possibilities. Anything else we want to talk about this?
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, I think we all give it a stamp of approval. I think I'm excited to see an actual moving action. That's what I'm excited to see.
too.
Him jumping around, the cape, everything. I'm excited to see the color.
And just to comment on like if they do like the character reveals like similar to how they did with this. I feel like that's so video gamey for like if they have their own theme, and it's like maybe they have like a different color tone depending on the different characters. I don't know. I'm positive on that. I think it's cool to introduce you to these characters before you see them on the big screen.
The only thing is, because I don't know if. Here's the thing, because I keep talking about this. They said Edward Nash, and they never said Riddler, and they said she was Selena Kyle. Don't be surprised. I don't know if she is going to be Catwoman in this movie. So that's one thing, people. We may not get a screen test, but if she is Catwoman in this movie, I think you would see a screen test for her just because that is an iconic character. I think there's a chance Riddler they'd hold back. I don't think you need to screen test the villain. I think you could just wait till release a photo, especially if it is just him in a suit. I don't think you need to like screen test it. Like I think if it is just like a really realistic look, but I think there's a chance if we don't get a Catwoman screen test, that means she might just be Selena Kyle in this movie, because they have a trilogy planned out. That's what they've been saying. So I think there is a chance that there might be no Catwoman suit in this one, and then or if it's like in it the movie like near the end, you don't want to show that off. You want to save that, unlike some other movie we just reviewed. So good to move on.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not finding this company. I'm sorry, Ted. You're gonna have to rewatch the movie.
There's a rumor going around that there's one thing. It was slated on Sony's slate of films that there's a movie coming out next year, October 2021, and it's untitled Sony's Spider-Man Marvel movie.
Ooh.
And then there was an additional rumor, which people are kind of linking the two, that Sony is developing a live-action Spid-er-Woman movie. So, Kirklin, I'll start with you because you've wanted this for a while. And what do you think about this? And then also, I'll say, what do you think about this running concurrently with a possible Tom Holland one? Because if it were to come out next year, that's the same year Spider-Man 3 comes out.
Yeah,
it's a lot of Spider-Man. Spider people.
It's not enough Spider people, honestly.
No, I agree.
You can never get enough Spider people if you're asking me. Yeah, this is really exciting. Spider-Woman has been one of those characters that I've always wanted in like the mainstream films. She has her animated show that I've been watching like here and there, and it's just fun, especially like playing her in like Ultimate Alliance and stuff. It's just a fun character that I want to see in Spider-Man. Total rumors, but I'm totally down if it is.
Alicia Vikander. That is the prime rumor right now,
it's very loose rumor,
it's
but
C tier, so it's not even C plus tier, it's C tier.
It's C tier rumor, but I'm totally for it. I'm a huge fan of that actress, and I just think she'd be a badass superhero, right? Yep. And I don't know. I feel like she could be a fun side character to if they do want to incorporate her with the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, technically, if we've learned from Morbius that they're in the same universe, right?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm super positive and optimistic on all these news. I don't know. It's one of those things that I hope it is. Like it is gonna be a thing. It's gonna formulate, and it's gonna.
I think the Spider-Woman film, that's a higher. I think that's somewhere in the C plus B tier. Yeah. It's the casting that's lower, but I do think this movie is happening. I think I'll go before Taylor goes.
He's smirking like a.
No, I found
person.
the name of the company.
Oh, is it?
Oh, just shut it out.
Nigma Tech.
Nigma Tech. There you go.
Right. Better Google than I. Just talking about Spider-Woman though, we've already gotten a couple of different versions of Spider people. Like you have Miles Morales that has different powers than Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And like there is a lot of like jokes out there that's like every 3 years or so there's a new Spider-Man. Like it's just a very like reoccurring thing, and it's all kind of been that Peter Parker where like it's the same powers. Like overall they're kind of the same character, but I am all for seeing like different types of Spider people. You got Spider-Gwen. All these things is kind of what I got in Spider-Verse, and maybe that's why I praise it so much. Like that's one of my favorite movies of all time, just because I got so many different versions of Spider people, and I don't know, I want more of that, and especially on like a live action like version. I think that's something that's super exciting to me, and I love her look. There's been plenty of like different versions of the Spider-Woman character. There's been a lot. There's been a lot, yeah. And I feel like they'll go for a more modern version of like the classic red one with the 3 eyes, because that's just. I feel like it's the most common that people are aware of. I'm a huge fan of like some of the like the symbiote like versions of the suit, and like that's probably my personal favorite. I feel like that's a little too uncommon for them to have like that as the first one. But if they end up going with Spider-Woman and it's a huge success, I could totally see them like having some fun with dropping some different suits and different versions of kind of like what we're getting with Tom Holland. He's got like the Spider Monkey suit, and it's like all black, just different versions.
Iron Man too.
Yeah, like exactly. I'm a huge fan of just superhero costumes, and there's so many awesome like versions out there, and I'm all positive on this. So give it to me.
Yeah,
Don't give me hope.
I don't know. She's a character I know less of. I've only seen her in a few comics. I'm excited to actually watch that animated show when I get around to it. Same thing, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'm a twofold. I'm a fan of them doing the idea because I've always thought, why haven't they been doing this with either Miles or somebody in live action? So I am a fan of that. I don't know if putting out the same year is a good idea if that does happen. I think next to Spider-Man 3, that might be a little too much of just like main Spider people.
Yeah.
But then the next year of Spider-Verse, so they got a lot of plans, and it's just I need to. I think for me the big test for this is I need to see Morbius because the animation they knocked out of the park, they did well. If Morbius is at least decent to good, which I don't think it's going to be, I'll have more faith. But in Venom, I was not the biggest fan of. I enjoy it for what it was. But it's even with my problems with the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I still really like those opposed to other movies. So as far as comic movies, so I need to see Morbius because if it's kind of the same team doing that, it's like even no matter how much I like that character, the idea of it could be a mess. And even then, if it's all connect, I thought for me, it's like you don't need Tom Holland Spider-Man. Just take him out and make either Miles or Spider-Woman like the Spider-Person in the Morbius Venom stuff. Like I don't think obviously they want that MCU like connectivity, right? But like I always thought, just use a different Spider-Person. That's fine. Bring back Toby and make it him, But so I'm down for this. I'm down to see Alicia Vikander play Julia if that's the case. She's a great actress.
She'd be such a good lead for that role.
I think so too. She's won her Oscar, so she's doing Tomb Raider 2. I think she's kind of in a mode where she's looking for a franchise, looking to make some cash, and I'd be for it. I'd be all done. I'd be like your Doc Ock fan cast. You get Michael Fassbender as her husband.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get him as Doc Ock. So I'm for it. I do hope it happens. If it does happen, I want them to place it maybe at a different time. But I'm always for more different characters. Unfortunately, it looks like Birds of Prey. It's not a bomb. It's still going to make money. It's going to break even. But it still sucks when like newer characters don't break out. But I still want to see newer characters. As we just talked about Batman, I'm never like, I just want Batman. I want Batman, of course, but I want a bunch of other things. I don't want them just because they're making Batman and not make a Nightwing thing or a Batgirl. I think we're at that stage right now where superhero movies are pretty profitable. Yeah, but it's pretty much you're not doing the greatest, but this is the time to strike. So I wonder how the public would like come to it, like it just being Spider-Woman, if they would call it that or whatnot. So Taylor, how do you feel about Spider-Woman?
So this is done by Sony?
This would be a Sony one, yeah. But I guess technically, if it's in the Venom verse, it'd be in the MCU verse. So
touch to Feige in there.
yeah.
I definitely want to see it because like I like Spider-Verse. I love seeing Miles Morales. I love seeing all these other Spider characters. So this is not who is like Spider-Girl, you said, or Spider-Woman?
Well,
like she's not Gwen.
There is the Spider-Girl. No, it's not Gwen Stacy. Her name's Julia Carpenter. Carpenter.
Yeah.
There's
been a couple different versions.
There's
too,
been many
like
different versions, yeah. And that's where my knowledge is less on her because I didn't read much of. I read Miles because I read Ultimate, but I was always just a Peter Parker guy, and then I got into Gwen Stacy as Spider-Man. But I was always Peter Parker because I think the same thing that Batman had at some point, Spider-Man had too many side characters, and that's where I got lost in the shuffle because there's lots of Spider-Womans, there's like Silk, there's like all these different Spider people. So my knowledge on Spider-Woman is very light.
Yeah, the classic version with like the red suit and the 3 eyes. That's
I don't know if they
that's
would.
Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
So different.
Okay, yeah.
character.
See, that's what I mean.
The Julia Carpenter is like my favorite version when she has like the blonde hair and
Yeah,
the Venom looking suit.
So that's what I mean. There's so many versions, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought I heard many reports that it was Julia's, but that's what I mean. And even that costume, I don't know what they would do. So it's kind of up in there. There's many options and routes they could go, but I don't think any of the routes would have much to do with having to be included with Spider-Man or Peter Parker.
So what? She gets bit by a radioactive spider? Same deal, or
I don't actually know. I think hers is just more of an experiment, but you know what? They all get bit by a spider. So yeah, that's what I mean. Do they go over that in the animated show? That they show origin in that one yet?
Yeah, they. I didn't start at the beginning of the show. I just put it on like a random.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah.
It's I like to live on the edge. No, but I put it on as like a show in the background, kind of something to fall asleep to. But they kind of touch upon it a little bit. But again, I would have to watch it from the beginning to really.
Well, you're talking. Let me do a quick Google. See if anything comes up.
Well, yeah, no, I'm very interested to see her character and see her get added to this list. Obviously Sony's trying to build their own, Spider-Verse and incorporate like Madame Web and Morbius and Venom, and obviously they got their greedy little fangs lingered into the MCU. So,
I just wish to, and this is not to be like, I guess Spider-Woman, that'd be fine too, but For me, like if you did the solo ones, we already got Miles in Spider-Verse, and the dream is if you were to go on, I would wish Tom Holland would pass it on to a Miles. I always wish that they did a solo Spider-Person was going to be the Spider-Gwen, because I think there's lots of potential there, do what ifs and like twist on characters. Or I always want the new Spider-Man 2099, because imagine a Spider-Man movie in the setting of Blade Runner, like that film.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be something new, right? And I wish they would do that because they could beat them, because Warner Brothers for some reason does not want to do Batman Beyond. And I think if you could beat them to that, that's the two I always wanted. So Spider-Woman to me is a bit more of a weirder one.
I find at this point, like I definitely agree. I think Batman Beyond and like Spider-Man 2099 would be just absolutely awesome to see.
Yeah.
And there's such like untapped potentials to dive into, and I don't know. I just at this point right now, I feel like Sony is just really ruining what Marvel is trying to do.
Wow.
I do. I feel like Sony is just pumping out their own Marvel movies, and it's just taking away from the MCU. Like we saw them we saw 20th Century Fox whip out Fantastic Four, and that obviously didn't do very well for them, and so we've seen them pursued
For Sony?
no 20th Century Fox.
Oh, Fox, yes. Sorry.
Then we saw them whip out their X-Men and continued on their X-Men universe thing, which is fine, but they didn't try to create movies that could connect. They didn't create their X-Men movies that could connect or compete with the Marvel movies, like the MCU. They didn't try to like nudge their connections and have someone from the MCU whip out into the X-Men movies. So they understood that they existed and they kept going down their own trajectory. But
I also think that, but you'd have to have something created there, right? So they couldn't just take something from the MCU. I think that's
no, but they
problem.
could put like have the X-Men like flying through New York and have Avengers Tower or something.
No, they
in
couldn't.
there.
That's illegal.
Well, if they could have like tried to strike a deal or something
they
like
could
that.
have, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but that being said, they didn't. Yes, it was illegal, but they left it as is. They didn't try to go in there.
Boom, Avengers Tower. It's like, what the fuck is this? Disney, we're just gonna sue everybody at Fox. That's how they bought them. Yeah.
But in this sense, you have Sony just completely fucking with Marvel, and right now they're making all these movies, and people are gonna go to the theater and be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see the new Avengers movie, but where's Venom and Spider-Girl and Morbius?" And people are gonna be like, "No,
Spider-Woman.
that's Spider-Woman." It's like those are in the Sony movies, and people will be like, "Well, what the fuck?" Spider-Man is here, and they're like, "No, but it's a deal." And it's just, I think Sony's just being a motherfucker.
I think the way you could still look at, I think the
Screw PS3,
the way you could
PS4,
the way you could look at it though is the same way Guardians were in the MCU. Like they were part of the MCU, but mainstream might be like, "Oh, why aren't they there?" And they're like, "Oh, they might be coming," so they might be trained to be like, "Oh, they might come in a different time, just not now." The origin for Spider-Woman was something to do with spider blood serum and a genetic accelerator elements of character or something like that. So it's spider blood. It's always radioactive.
Peter Parker's blood.
Probably it's probably something like that, or like some experiment on another one. So yeah.
Interesting.
In a lab.
Tony
it's
hates
all science.
Tony hates you hate Sony so much too.
Back to formula.
Finally,
I'm
this
so
is
much of a scientist myself.
this is gonna be quick. It's just gonna be me and Kirklin talking about it because Taylor's supposed to watch it.
So excited
for you,
to talk
the
about this with you guys.
Because he was blind.
Yeah. So Taylor, what do you think? So it's a Netflix show. It's called Love Is Blind. What is this?
I think it's either two things. It's about people that are blind and fall in love, which is probably very unlikely, or it's that people end up falling in love and realize that love itself is just, it's untapped, it's blind, it doesn't have...
It's kind of close. I feel like I'd give him 0.5 marks out of 4.
Oh, shit.
Out of 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I gave you a 0.1 maybe.
Oh, okay, tell me what it is.
So the show it's a reality show. Me and Emily watch like crap like this all the time. That's one of these like it's so bad, it's so good because the show is actually awful. Me and Kurt talking about this, there's like really cringy moments. It's like but you gotta watch it, especially Mass, and you're gonna love it. We'll put it on this weekend. You watch one episode, you're gonna keep going. Kirkland's the same thing. So what happens is they get like I don't know the exact number. They get like 20 guys, 20 girls. They put them in a room and they just gangbang each other. And then what happens? I'm joking.
I believed you. I was like, this is a reality.
He's like, I didn't watch this.
They turn off the lights and they say, pick your partner.
I totally believe that.
Blind love.
They take 20 men and women and they put them in rooms. You can talk to the person, but you don't get to see them at all. And then you cycle through the rooms and you keep talking. So every let's say hour, something shifts and you talk to another person. And then you have an X amount of days to propose to a person.
What? Are you
yeah.
shitting
Yeah.
me?
So there's people in the show that are getting proposed 3 days and getting married.
And it's like a deadline for the wedding. It's like 30 days until wedding.
Yeah, and there's a countdown constantly. So yeah, after 3 days, people have been like, "This is the love of my life." They're getting proposed or everything like that.
And they never see them once.
Yeah,
They're completely cut off. The boys and the girls don't see each other.
So they
whatever.
propose and see them, or they propose
no,
and still
you don't get to see them till you say
There's
yes.
2 proposals, which I thought it was kind of a funny idea because you propose.
Behind the wall.
Yeah, basically you go on like different dates. So then one date with like the one person, right, for like an hour or however long it is, and then you go to the next person.
It's just
But then like day 2, you can go for another date if you really like the person, if the person liked you, but you never see them. It's all you just hear their voice and. Oh,
Do we get to see them? As
Yeah,
a viewer?
we get to see them. And then after they go on their dates, it's basically like Big Brother or something. Like the boys and the girls are in their own rooms, and then they're talking like, "Oh, Mark is the one for me," and then this person over here is like, "Oh, I had a good relation with Mark. What the fuck? That guy was playing with me. What the fuck's that?"
Yeah, there's one. It's a mini spoiler, but there's one girl named Jessica who me and Kirklin, she's batshit crazy.
She's terrible.
There's
a couple crazy ones.
Oh yeah, she gets even more so because Kirklin's episode 2, I'm episode 5. It's a 3-week event, and this is my theory. I was saying to Kirklin, that's why I think Netflix is gonna start experimenting with not dropping binges. So they're dropping 5 now, 4 next week, and then the finale that's just called Weddings in 3 weeks from now. So that's why I think they're gonna keep people. But so she is like in this love triangle, but then it's really awkward for this guy Barnett and Mark to go back in the same room because they both know they're talking to Jessica, and it's just like, oh, but and they're like comparing notes and everything. So there's that dynamic. My favorite guy, because I don't want to forget him, my favorite guy was the video game director, who's not in any other scenes, but he's just like, I'm looking for the right woman, and every woman is looking for the Prince Charming, right? And he like looked in the camera.
Like a psycho.
Yeah.
He literally talked like a robot. Yeah.
And I was like, why'd they choose him for the video game designer? They couldn't get like a normal guy, but like, and he looked like a serial killer, and we didn't see any of his dates. So clearly, because there is people in the show that you never see them go on a date, so clearly their footage is just not exciting or there's no chemistry. Because there's one guy named Rory, and all he does.
I swear to God, he's a plant. I
said the same thing to Emily.
Yeah.
He's a producer. Cause
he's a producer, yeah.
Yeah.
And Shay actually had a good theory on this. Is because when the girls go back to their whatever their room,
they all got like a room. And they sleep there overnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when the girls are all together, they're all talking because that's what girls do about when they go on a date. All girls talk to each other, but guys don't do
drinking.
that. So then they had to introduce this
Rory,
which is like basically a producer, to just get like a conversation going. And then there's so many times he has like a one-on-one with like a character. And
the
saying,
main
like,
character of that episode.
Oh yeah, like you really gotta like. Oh yeah.
What does love mean to you?
Exactly.
I never would ask that to Taylor or Kirklin at all.
And just like the way he talks is such like he's almost like a therapist or something.
So when
like,
do you guys have sex in a relationship? Calm down, Rory.
Like, oh, Mark is really into. Let's just keep going on the Jessica like love triangle. It's like, oh, Mark's really into it, but you feel this way, man. He's like, the biggest regret you're gonna have is if you don't try something. So like, go for that and like just talk.
How'd you feel last night about it though? And we never see him on it. Like they couldn't even fake it to put him in a fake date with another female producer.
His job is like game director.
100%. That's right. Yeah, it's like in a murder mystery, and he's the guy that knows everything. Yeah. That's him.
He's totally a plant.
Yeah, so that's why like the show is definitely has batch moments where it's scripted, but it is just so cheesy because there's like these people talking about like I've met the love of my life, and it's been like 6 hours, and it's like, oh my god, are you kidding me? But clearly, because the people they interview are all people that are like, I want to get married like in the next 6 months. Like they were looking for it. And there's just some people, they did throw one virgin in the cast. They didn't do anything with him.
No,
really,
I hope I wanted to see
he
some
doesn't.
of his dates.
He's just kind of gone.
No, he's not in it.
Yeah, I wonder if like he said that to every girl and nothing happened. So that's why he didn't get any scenes, right?
Told them he's a virgin.
Well, we never saw anything. They were talking about sex and because they were all, they were like joking like, who hasn't had sex at this age? And the guy's like, I haven't.
No. Because one of the guys might have been a spoiler, but like one of the guys is like, "Is anyone here a virgin?" Because I got like questions regarding like if I was a virgin, and then the one guy just lifts his hand, and then they're just like, "Really?"
Everybody
like,
was shocked.
Total straight face, and the guy's like, "Oh." Like just didn't know what to say. Yeah, he was a strange looking guy.
Oh yeah,
31 years old.
I gotta. So Taylor, this was my question. You gotta catch up to this, and then hopefully Kirklin does. When next Thursday we got a next newscast talk about this, so we know everybody.
Yeah,
this is our
solemnly
mission.
swear.
Kirklin and Shay, make sure
addicting.
you watch them all. Next week we'll watch them because the thing is, do you have a favorite couple or pairing right now?
As of right now, it's probably oh gosh.
So and
I think her name's is it Cameron and Diamond? Is that their names?
Carlton and Diamond. I think.
No. Okay, Carlton and Diamond, and then Cameron and it was another black girl.
Oh, what is his? Is it Kelly? No, Kelly's
Maybe.
there's a boring couple. Yeah, there's
God.
one which is
I'm mixing the names.
which is clearly going to be an issue because this girl who's black has never dated a white guy at all.
Yeah, never
and
kissed a white
she's
guy.
considering getting engaged to him, and I think in the previews they kind of spoiled
There's
that
been
they do
some
get
sneak
engaged.
peeks.
Yeah, and
very,
like they walk in this room, the dad's like, "You're black, he's white. Let's talk about it."
yeah, very like cringy type stuff. I'm excited to hear about.
I
but
do like
I
them.
think that's my favorite because I've only seen like 2 proposals.
Yeah, I will say this is a minor, not a spoiler for you, but just a tease for you. One of the couples that gets engaged break up in that span of 5 episodes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And it is a massive explosion from the episode starting to be in love to like they are name calling each other. Like
I have some predictions.
yeah, who do
do I think it
anyone
is?
you've seen as a couple? Who do you
Well,
think?
can I spoil like who? Like
Yeah,
who?
yeah. This is spoilers for people. Go
Okay,
watch the show,
um,
and this will motivate you. Because this thing, you could be spoiled, but you'll still want to watch it because there's so many weird little moments.
I think Carlton and Diamond will end
Okay.
an explosion just because there was a sneak peek which we talked about the marketing for it, and I think it was pretty sloppy because like they literally at the end of the first episode it's like a preview is what's to come, and
I
then you
skipped
see
that.
I did not,
Yeah.
and that's what I should have because
Mhm.
there's literally a scene where Carlton gets like a drink thrown in his face. It's like fuck you, motherfucker.
So I should skip the
Very
first
intense.
episode.
No,
you gotta watch.
Just
No,
at
no,
the very
the
end, it'll
preview.
start playing like a preview. So just skip that.
It'll be like
which-
what's
yeah.
happening on this season because they're doing this 3-week
and it
event.
like shows them like at a wedding, like literally. So
thing. Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. It's weird.
yeah.
So I don't think that one's gonna end well. And then the other one would be I think his name was Damien and like the Venezuela chick.
Oh, Gigi.
Gigi, yeah.
His name is Damian Powers. That's
Yeah.
a fake fucking name. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, that guy's done porn somewhere. And he's like, his name's Damian
I
Powers.
was just a little thrown off when like because he does propose to her, and then she's just so hesitant at first, and then I mean how that episode ended was
the cliffhanger.
they
You don't
see
know
each
yet.
other, and then she just doesn't say anything there. So again, it could just be marketing.
Wait
ploy,
till you
but
see what happens there. There's tons.
I'm
of weird
excited.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is, and then we're almost done with this. Is so the first 2 episodes is like them doing the Love Is Blind thing. The 3rd and like 4th episode, and kind of the 5th, it's kind of like 2.5. It's like they all take a trip together, and this is the awkward thing is, we didn't know they're gonna do this. They saved this, so. At first, when they take the trip, all the couples, I won't say who the couples is spoiler. It's like, oh, where are they? Because none of them are seeing each other. But then in the middle of the episode, they all force them to have dinner together. And then
Oh.
every episode, they always have to meet up to do dinner. So there's like a few couples that like maybe really like somebody else, but then not, and maybe they got rejected. And they see the person they chose with another person.
I'm so
And they're
excited
not
for
even
that.
couples. They're all engaged, getting married in 25 days. And they put them together in pool parties. And
Oh, that's so
it's
terrible.
so they do this. So they do the Love Is Blind thing. They do the trip. They do the force them together, and then we're ended next week's episode. The first episode is they gotta live together for a week.
I'm so excited.
You literally get
gonna be
like
terrible.
5 years of relationship in 30 days, and
Yeah.
it's oh yeah. I'm wondering if anybody's gonna really last. There's one couple I think will last. I think I guessed 2, and one of them's already getting rocky, so I'm getting worried.
Oh,
So
interesting.
my prediction, there's one couple, but even then, every time there's something,
So-
they're perfect up until episode 5, and then he said something. It was like, uh-oh.
Sorry, how many proposals are there in the first episode? Like the first chunk that you saw?
Like all of it.
Yeah.
There's 6, I think, 6 or
6
7.
proposals?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
And
yeah.
then like the first chunk, whatever you would call it, phase 1, let's call
the
it.
Love Is Blind section.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then so there's only 6 proposals.
Because I think in your episode you've seen 3. I think there's 3 or 4 more coming for you in episode 2.
Oh, I forgot about another one. I forgot about Kelly and
Kevin and Kelly. Yeah.
Kevin and Kelly. Yeah,
They're the really
I like
boring
that
white
one.
couple.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's my pick of who I think's gonna make the
I think-
distance
I
because
think
they're
they're
just so
gonna make it.
boring and white.
I
They're
think
just-
I think they're gonna make it for
Yeah.
sure. We were thrown away because she says that she gained 40 pounds, and I'm like, she must have been skin and bones before. Cause
Oh yeah, she's
I'm not seeing
a
the
big
40
lady.
pounds. She's not big at all.
No.
Yeah.
So, and this is the other thing too. I won't spoil it at all, but there's one guy at one night when they all go back. There's 6 or 7 couples. They all have sex except for 2 of them, not together, not the game, but all the couples have sex except for 2. One's an issue we'll talk about, but then one, the guy lies and he said. Everyone's talking about sex story, and he said the most lamest thing where I thought he was a virgin. He said, they asked, oh, what happened? He's like, I'm not one to kiss and tell, but I couldn't go for a jog this morning. I was like, what the fuck?
He said I couldn't go for
Yeah,
a
he
jog?
just
Their
said
lines are
between me-
so bad,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
like when they're on their dates and they're flirting, like there's a few that are so cringy. I'm like, oh no, I should have fast forwarded that. But like one of those, like, you're the yin to my yang,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just like, oh my gosh.
But it's like a horror movie. You watch it still. You're just like, I like being
exactly.
scared. I
You're
like
like
being
behind the
cringy.
blanket,
Yeah.
like, oh, don't do it.
Like, don't say that. Don't get on that knee.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So it's definitely a show that I'm glad I started. Like, I was going to bed last night and I was thinking about these relationships, and I'm like, oh shit,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are they gonna have? I'm like, I haven't felt like I don't watch The Bachelor
Me
or like
either.
shows like
I don't
that, but like
those.
I used to when I lived with my sister, but like that was many moons ago.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing back those types of memories, and it's like, man, these shows are definitely entertaining in a weird
yeah.
way.
They're junk food. That's what
They're
they are.
definitely junk
Yeah.
food. That's a perfect
And I
word
think
for
I
it.
don't think I could watch show if I had commercials. I think that's a big
No,
thing with it
yeah.
being on streaming Netflix. It's like 45 minutes and it's
Yeah.
back to back. With Bachelor, it's like an hour and a half. And like I said, when they go traveling, there is like a Bachelor kind of feel to it. But like I said, they throw in curveballs like, oh, we're gonna make them all have dinner together, or we're gonna
Yeah.
do this, and like. And they're like I said, they're like Kern said, they're constantly on the clock. Every episode is like 32 days to wedding. And it's just like, oh my god!
And
Like,
like-
these people just met. One couple like said I love you, and it was like 6 hours into the meeting show. It's like, oh my god! Like, this is crazy. You're gonna throw your whole life away. Like, it's nuts. It's
It is
crazy.
nuts. And like
Yeah.
I thought the whole gimmick was just like the whole show would be them in the pods, and then at
Yeah.
the end of the show, like it would be the proposals, and then they live their lives and we don't get to see it. But like just the fact that like they literally have cameras in their houses and they're gonna be like living together. It's just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be this drama of like a storm that's coming, and you know it's not gonna end well. It's such a junk food show, and
Oh,
I want to see them implode and just fall apart. It's so terrible, but it's
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. So that's so we'll probably try and do like mini review episodes. We're always gonna put them at the end of the episode, so
Yeah.
in case people are like, oh,
You
they're
don't have
talking
to
about
stick
Love is
around.
Blind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before we
exactly.
talk about Batman, we're talking about Love is Blind. But even as like, if you don't like this type of stuff, watch it. Especially if you have a couple. I think it's the best thing. I watch that. But even then, it's like it's a fun, cringy just show. And it's just like it's ridiculous. So Taylor, that's your homework.
I
Watch.
solemnly swear I will watch the
Yeah,
show.
you gotta watch at
You
least one
sold
episode.
me.
If you watch one episode and go, I'm not into it, fine. But I think like Kirkland, he got hooked. I was the same way. Emma was gonna watch it without me. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, I'll watch one. And then after that, I'm like, oh, you can't watch anything without me. I gotta
Yeah.
see what happens because it's just like it's so bad and cringy, but it's just
It was
you know.
funny too because we weren't gonna watch it, but Shay had to work on a project or something. So then she was doing that. I'm like, I'm putting the show on, and then it'll be in the back so you can watch it. And then she was typing, and all of a sudden she would just be starting to stare at the TV. And how the first episode ends, it's gonna be a proposal, but they don't see each other at all. And then it's like, okay, well, we need to watch the next episode because I want to see what it looks like when they meet each other. And like they end in such a cliffhanger way that just. They have you wanting more, and especially since it's on Netflix, like you can just click to watch the next episode. There's
Yeah.
no commercials. It's easy to do that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
And me and Kurt were talking about the Offcast. It's a show that if there's a couple you don't like or if it gets boring, you can easily tune out. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, whatever. You
totally.
can tune out for 5-10 minutes and come back, and they're still doing the same dramatic stuff. I'm gonna ask you as a prediction because you haven't seen this. Who do you think Jessica's gonna end up with, Barnett or Mark?
Mark, because I, yeah, I'm gonna say Mark because I just feel like, oh, it's so bad, like all the Jessica stuff, because she's just such a hypocrite on like how she tackled like Mark and Barnett.
It continually happens. So I won't say who she picks, but
Yeah.
whoever she picks both things, it's like it continually happens throughout the show. Like
Oh,
she
it's gonna be
contradicts
terrible.
herself every episode,
Yeah.
and it's great.
and it's,
yeah.
it's so bad, but it's great at the same time. Another I know, are we done talking about that one? I was just gonna quickly
Yeah, go ahead,
shout
yeah.
out Sex Education, another
Mhm.
kind of Valentine's Day show.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't like too sure what it was about. I 100% thought Margot Robbie was in it just because the
Good get for Netflix.
yeah, good get for Netflix for sure. But I don't know the actress's name. I think her name's Maeve, like in the show, but she's lots of fun in it, and all the characters I think are really good. I'm not the biggest fan of British humor, and I didn't know it was a full on like British show like set in the UK. But I'm really liking it, and like the humor is working for me. It's very like raunchy, so don't watch with little kids around.
Nope.
But it's funny, and I think it's written in a funny way, and I like we were shouting out I don't know the actress's name, but
Gillian Anderson.
yeah,
Gillian
she's
Anderson.
great in it, and
Gillian.
she's really good at like the character that they put her with. And
Yeah.
I heard another season's coming, so that's
yeah,
cool.
just got renewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor, any show you're watching? A shout out.
I just finished Jack Ryan season 2 a
When
couple
was
days ago.
Wow, when you could have been watching Love Is Blind.
I think this is like before you told me to
I
watch
don't
it.
I don't think so.
I watched the first few episodes of Jack Ryan.
It's a good show. Season 2 was like not on par with season 1, but still very good
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Go
So-
John Krasinski.
Oh,
He's looking
yeah.
jacked.
Mr. Fantastic.
Shouts out to that guy.
Come on.
Specimen.
He's not Mr.
Specimen.
Fantastic.
He should be
It's
Mr.
not happening.
Fantastic.
He could be. He's not my top choice, but he could be.
A Doctor Doom.
Not Doctor Doom.
That age clock is working. They're getting too old for me.
He has like every actor in Hollywood on the wall, and he
Yeah.
like, sees it clicking down. You already promote social media, right? We did that.
I already did.
Yeah. All links are down below for social media or the video and audio. So thank you very much for tuning in this cast. We'll be back next week. Until next time, it will not be boring.
Farewell.
Bye-bye.